Are you counting on keto to fix your metabolism for good? Or are you watching the early wins fade after the first few months?
Welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. Stay informed with quick, easy-to-listen summaries of our latest articles, perfect for when you're on the go. No reading required. Subscribe for free at mercola.com for the latest health insights.
Hello, and welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. I'm Ethan Foster, and today we're taking a direct look at the long-term safety and effectiveness of the ketogenic diet, based on recent research and analysis from Dr. Joseph Mercola.
I'm Alara Sky. We'll outline what early studies consistently show, where those benefits stall, which risks appear with extended use, and how a short-term therapeutic approach can make more sense before you transition toward balanced carbohydrates.
Let's start with the headline. Keto often delivers fast improvements in weight, insulin sensitivity, and blood sugar control. Many trials report better HOMA-IR in the first months, as fasting insulin drops with lower carbohydrate intake. That's the phase when you notice tighter glucose numbers and easier fat loss.
Those gains don't keep marching forever. Across studies, weight loss and metabolic markers commonly plateau around 6 to 12 months. Adherence also slips in real-world settings, and the direction of later changes varies with the exact fat-to-protein-to-carb ratio and your starting metabolic health.
Context matters. People with insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes see clearer benefits. Healthy individuals don't show the same consistent improvements. Even for those who respond well early, physiological adaptations emerge that blunt the initial effect, which is why the first half year looks different from the second.
Let's dig into insulin resistance markers. HOMA-IR typically improves early, driven by lower insulin demand. Over time, that improvement can level off or become mixed. Some participants maintain better numbers, others settle into a new steady state without ongoing gains. It isn't uniform, and duration plus diet composition help explain the split.
On fasting glucose, trials again show early reductions, especially if you start with impaired tolerance. Later, values stabilize rather than continue trending down. That stabilization hints at a new equilibrium, not continuous improvement. And it's another signal that keto's strongest effects are front-loaded.
Lipids are the next concern. Case data and trials document LDL cholesterol rising for some people on ketogenic or very low-carb, high-fat patterns. In one report, a rapid LDL increase occurred alongside quick weight loss, likely from mobilized cholesterol as fat cells shrink. Other research in healthy young women warned of an unfavorable lipid profile during ketogenic L-CHF eating.
Animal and mechanistic studies add caution. Long-term high-fat feeding can alter lipid metabolism and mitochondrial function, with some models showing hepatic lipid accumulation depending on fat type and energy intake. While animal data aren't destiny, they map out plausible risks when ketosis is sustained without adjustment.
The gut microbiome also shifts. Research shows reduced diversity on ketogenic intake and a reproducible drop in bifidobacterium. In humans, increases in organisms like Fusobacteria and Escherichia have been observed during ketogenic consumption, and those patterns are linked in other literature to colorectal cancer risk. That doesn't declare causation, but it flags an area to watch.
Nutrient status is another practical issue. Restricting carbohydrates can cut out fruits, vegetables, and certain whole grains that carry vitamins and minerals. Analyses of low-carb patterns highlight gaps in B-complex vitamins, A, E, and key minerals such as magnesium and potassium when supplementation isn't used.
Kidney stones show up consistently in the longer-term data, particularly in pediatric epilepsy programs that maintain strict ketogenic ratios. Reports include cases requiring medication and, in some instances, surgery. If you're prone to stones, this risk deserves upfront consideration.
Bone health raises additional questions. Short-term ketogenic regimens in athletes increased markers of bone resorption and reduced formation, with only partial recovery after reintroducing carbohydrate. The long-term impact on bone mineral density remains uncertain, but the early remodeling signal points negative.
Thyroid function can be affected as well. Extended low-carb intake is associated with changes in thyroid hormone activity and endocrine signaling that may contribute to greater lean mass loss compared to higher carb diets. That hormonal context helps explain why some people feel worse the longer they push strict ketosis.
Given all this, the updated stance is clear. Keto works best as a short-term therapeutic tool, especially if you're metabolically inflexible or managing type 2 diabetes. It can lower fasting glucose, improve HOMA-IR, and spur initial weight loss, but it isn't designed to run indefinitely without trade-offs.
If you do a short targeted phase, choose nutrient-dense fats and minimize ultra-processed items. That means prioritizing pasture-raised eggs, butter, and wild-caught fish for fat sources, while cutting ultra-processed foods, meats, and snacks. Because low-carb patterns can miss key micronutrients, a high-quality multivitamin is reasonable insurance during that period.
Then you transition. As metabolic flexibility returns, often over weeks to a few months, you increase carbohydrates from healthy sources. Your body requires glucose. Prolonged deprivation elevates cortisol and drives gluconeogenesis that can break down muscle, bone, and even brain tissue to make sugar. Bringing carbs back supports long-term balance.
Let's be precise about the takeaway. Early keto effects are real. Extended keto raises concerns across lipids, kidneys, bones, thyroid function, and the microbiome. And long-term health is better served by reintroducing balanced carbohydrates once you've restored flexibility.
Here's your challenge. If you're currently keto, define a clear end date within the next few weeks.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.